Welcome everybody. Welcome to Bharat Marg. We have political analyst Vinay ji with us. Thank you Vinay ji for joining in Bharat Marg again. Appreciate it. दोस्तों आज हमारा बातचीत होगा अगर आप कनाडा में डिग्री करना चाहते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी में कॉलेज में क्या ये बहुत बड़ा एक्सपेंसिव हो रहा है ओके आप ये सोचेंगे मैं कभी इधर का सिटीजन भी हो सकते हैं कोई भी आप जो भी हो इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट हो सबका फीस इतना महंगी होने वाली है हो रहा है कि क्या स्टूडेंट्स के खून निकल जाएगा यही सवाल है ओके विल द कैनेडियन डिग्रीज बिकमिंग सो एक्सपेंसिव will the students bleed is the question we go to Vinay ji with. And Vinay ji, before getting started friends, please make sure to like the video, comment on the video, share the video with as many people as you can. And also friends, please make sure to subscribe the channel if you didn't already, and also press the notification bell to stay connected so that whenever we go live you can come and join and ask question and participate in the conversation friends. And also don't forget we are involved in a lot of sevas like teaching Sanskrit, Vedic mathematics, everything for free, and also matrimonial board and many other seva works. Okay, if you are interested in any, our WhatsApp number is given below. You can send us a WhatsApp and get connected and participate in them. Okay, and we are involved in puja, havan, gau seva, gaudan, and one dharmic message every day we send out in multiple languages. And if you are interested you can go ahead and message us at +16479644790 to get connected. And also you can share this video and do dan by going to bharatmarg.com and pressing the donate now button, and also by sending a WhatsApp and support us if you like what we are doing. Okay, Vinay ji, thank you again. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is the news I was seeing today. I just wanted to go through with you. You have, uh, you know, you are pretty aware of the college situations here. Okay, you
Yeah.
have studied here. You have kids going to college. Okay, so universities rather. Okay, and see here Canadian students can expect to pay $75,000 for the university degree this year. Okay, it's getting so. Canadian RESP company Embark and its forecast reports cost will be up for a 4-year degree in the coming September. Okay, post-secondary education means it is going to be so unbelievably high, so unbelievably high.
Right.
Okay, Semi, what's happening and how it is going to affect the international students coming to Canada, how it is going to affect इधर का जो बच्चे हैं जो इधर बड़े पड़े हैं इनके ऊपर क्या असर पड़ेगा क्या ये बच्चे कॉलेज जा पाएंगे या इनको यूएस जाना पड़ेगा कैसा है
Well,
या यूरोप और elsewhere.
the enrollment in for international students in Canada has declined by 45%. Okay. So so basically, just to understand, the international students normally pay 3 to 4 times or even a little more than the domestic students for a college education. Okay. So let's say a student, domestic student enrolls in a university program for a Bachelor of Science degree at a reputed university. He or she would be paying around $7,000 to $8,000 a year. Okay. So let's say $8,000 a year. And now the domestic student, when he or she is paying $8,000, an international student for the same degree in the same university would be paying close to $24,000 to $30,000 a year. Okay. So same thing with college, diplomas and certificates and stuff like that. If a domestic student is paying $10,000, the college fee for an international student is about $30,000. And now you got to understand that in the last few years, ever since Mr. Trudeau took over as the Liberal, party leader and the Prime Minister of Canada, the the immigration policies have been completely botched up, completely screwed up, completely messed up. Canada has been a country with a good reputation, and that was one of the reasons why I came here, why you came here. And and at the time when we came, things, there was a policy, there were certain policies in place, there were certain regulations in place and stuff like that, and everybody followed that. But Trudeau came along and he completely screwed up the whole system. He said, "Oh, you know what? These are all policies, unwritten, whatever. So we can change whatever to make it convenient for myself." And that's him. And he was creating a vote bank for himself. So he brought
Mhm.
in students from all over the thing, and just so that he could also give them immigration, so that they thank Trudeau and they become a permanent vote bank of the Liberal Party.
Mhm.
Okay. But what this led to was too many students started coming in, and the international intake in many of the private colleges, in many of the universities, and I'm not kidding you, these numbers are staggering. Like, I'm talking anywhere from 50% to 100%. Many of the colleges used to fill the entire 80, 100, 200,
In fact, they
1,000
used
seats.
to have overbook and send the people back. They couldn't
That also
accommodate.
is true. That also is true. But what I'm saying is 100% of the seats were allocated to international students. And the reason is they used to mint money. They used to make money, so much money, because imagine a fees, if they brought in a domestic student, if the fees is $10,000 for the same kind of education, for the same kind of professors who are teaching, and the professor's salary doesn't increase just because they're teaching international students. So the international students' income was mind-boggling. So 30,000 or $40,000 per annum times whatever the intake was, and they were making huge amounts of money. Like, I'm even talking reputable colleges like Conestoga, Humber, Seneca, many of Centennial College, and many of these colleges, and plus many thousands of hundreds and thousands of private colleges that had some reputation or no reputation. Some of them were operating out of plazas. Some of them were even operating out of residential homes. Okay, in the basement, and I don't know how they got their licenses and all of
It's a
that.
scam. It's a big scam.
It's a big scam. And then the universities also were following the same path, because they decided, you know what, this is a great money making machine for us. So they were making huge amount of money. But then guess what happened? The policy changed. Okay, and in 2024, uh, there was a decrease of 35% from 2023. They put a cap, and now as of today, it looks like it's around 45% decline.
अगर
And
अगर ये कैप नहीं लगाते तो भी बच्चों का संख्या कम होने वाला ही था, क्योंकि
that
इंडिया
is
से आने
true.
वाले
That is
बच्चे
true,
कम ही
because
हो गए.
the problem is, you saw, we have covered, again, we've done a lot of videos on this, and you saw the problems. It was mainly housing problem. The housing is unaffordable in certain cities and certain places, right? So people like 20, 30 students were living in a two-bedroom or a three-bedroom apartment, where only 3 or 4 people are allowed, and landlords were turning a blind eye because they were getting their rent, so they did not have any problems with that. And then the cost of living, mainly for groceries and all of that, was huge. And then the government at one point announced that from 24-hour work week for students, they're allowed to work 24 hours every week. They increased that to 40 hours a week, and so that students are able to sustain, right? And now they're bringing it back to the same 24 or 28 hours a week. All right. So this is all the factors. These are all the factors that are reducing the student population coming to Canada. Okay, and the policy change, and some of these colleges, sorry, not even colleges, I should say, some of the provinces, okay, like PEI, Newfoundland, they wanted to support the colleges, the institutions in their provinces. So what they did was they promised these students, hey, you know what, come to Canada and come as a student, and once you finish your degree or certificate or whatever, we will put you on a fast track for your immigration into Canada. And that lured a lot of students to come over. But all these things have been changing. And I think Trudeau has learned his lesson. And he's kind of now, because elections are coming up in the next within the next 12 months, he's kind of waking up and slowly kind of coming out of his stupor. And hopefully he's or maybe he's hoping that he'll be able to win the elections by changing these immigration policies. But overnight you can't change these policies. So as a result of all of these, the student population has reduced, international student population. Now the institutions, the colleges, the universities are extremely greedy. They want to make the same amount of money that they used to make when international students used to come here. So guess what? They want to target the domestic students now. Students who are covering their entire 4-year education in about $30,000 to $40,000 have now got to pay $75,000 possibly for a degree. So it's basically doubling for them.
Wow. So, what do you think is the better option now ahead for the parents who are sending the children for?
I'm,
Because
I'm not I'm not a political party. I'm not affiliated to any political party. But all I'm saying is we need a change in the government. Okay, we need a change in the government so that the new policy that, for example, Pierre Polivier, Conservative Party leader, is talking about, those are implemented, and we go back to normal. We go back to what it was. It's not that Canada did not have these policies. They have excellent immigration policies, but it's just that the immigration policies were basically butchered and botched up by the Trudeau government. So that is number one. Okay, we need a change in the government. Number two, the domestic students are unfortunately going to get hurt, okay, regardless, because the issue is with, if the government is going to increase this the or let the institutions, let the colleges, let the universities double the fees for domestic students, which means that at the end of the 4 years they may end up paying around $75,000. So that will have to be addressed with the colleges, with the universities, and I'm not sure how they are able to help, because for them it's become a matter of greed and increasing their revenue and increasing their profitability.
so how long these kids are going to struggle for life now with this all the loans and everything?
See, once the prices go up, right, they're not going to come down. Okay, only once. If it goes up once, the price will never come down. You remember what happened to the gas prices. You remember what happened to the rental prices. Remember what happened to the grocery prices. Everything, once it goes up, it very seldom comes down. And
So
we do not want to let this happen. We do not want because this fees increase maybe as early as September 2024.
wow. So if the conservative government comes, will there be any kind of uh, you know any kind of advantage for the parents
Hope-
or
hopefully they will put certain legislations in place, and hopefully that is what your Polivier is talking. Hopefully they will say that, hey, listen, colleges, universities, for this degree program, for example, I'll give you an example. Okay, if you go to a dentist office, all right, or if you go to a doctor's office, right, there is a limit, or a physiotherapist. There is a limit on how much a physiotherapist or a dentist or a doctor can charge you.
ये
Okay,
ग्रोसरी में भी होता है, एमआरपी होता है, मैक्सिमम रिटेल प्राइस.
that doesn't work here, not in Canada. There is nothing called as a maximum retail price. There is everything is subject to your own. You're competing because you basically take a flyer and go to a grocery store and say, "Hey, you know what? XYZ is selling the bananas for 60 cents a pound. Can you match the price?" That guy is already selling it at $1. He'll say, "Oh, 60 cents. Oh, is it the same brand? Is it the same thing?" He's trying to get away from it because the money, the price matching, it's got a very lot of small prints. Okay, and the small print is basically it has to be the same exact brand, it has to be the exact same size, has to be the exact same color, and blah blah blah, all of that, right? So now the basically the other grocery store tries to somehow escape from it, but if they have to match, they will. So that is how MRP works here. Okay, so that is the reason. Like I'm coming back to what I was saying about dentist office and stuff like that. The government sets a price. They say that for a cleaning, you cannot charge more than X amount of dollars. For tooth extraction, you cannot charge more than X amount of dollars. Okay, the dentist can charge up to that $50 or whatever the mark is, but he cannot go over that. All right, so that is the government legislation that has been in place. So likewise, for for institutions, universities, colleges, the new government will have to establish these legislations to say that, hey, you know what, for a course, for a 1 year certificate course in computer science or whatever, you cannot charge more than X amount of dollars. Or for a university degree in bachelor of science, you cannot charge more than X amount of dollars. So once those legislations come into place, then you know what, it gives a relief to the students here.
But the big thing, folks, I don't know. It's going to, they are not going to do anything. Will the new government? My last question to you: do you think the new government will do anything to facilitate the incoming of the international students also, so
No,
that
no,
they
I
are
think
now they don't want to come to Canada?
the international students, I think they have to curb the international student intake as well. They have to let the colleges know that you cannot fill 100% of your seats with international students. Okay, like you have to set a mandate, and that is very important for the new government to do. They have to set a mandate where it says, only 20% or 10% or whatever it is, set a percentage that only so many students are allowed from from other countries. You have to fill these seats, 80% of the seats, with domestic students. Okay, that should be the mandate. Okay, the government gave so much freedom to all these institutions and colleges that they went berserk because they were actually refusing seats to domestic students to take on international students,
Yeah,
which is
means
very unfair.
you get more blood for the same amount of you are
Exactly.
able
But
to suck
what
the
about the
blood.
domestic students? Where are they going to go? Now they have to go to another country to pay international fees. How fair is that? How fair is that? Tell me.
Yeah, we all know it's not fair, but who is going to fix it is a big question. You know,
Exactly.
will,
Yeah.
will the drama teacher will fix it, or somebody else? That's a big question. Thank you,
Yeah.
Vinay ji, for coming in. It's absolutely painful. I don't know. Means wow, this is amazing. But
And we also know that we did a show just recently about more than 70,000 people, international students, are under the threat of deportation.
yes, and deportation, and I am sure they will find a way, at least major chunk of them, to stay here. But
No, it depends because Jagmeet Singh is no longer supporting the Liberal government, and he was the one major
no,
proponent
I
of
mean,
keeping them here.
it's like a husband and wife who act for the neighbor. I will act like hitting you. You act like crying. You know what I mean? That's what is happening. I don't think it's it's a drama. I don't think it's more than that. I don't know if you believe they are pulling back the support and whatnot and all. I don't trust either of these guys. But anyway, you know what the people think. Please do comment and let us know. And friends, we will love to hear from you. Vinay ji, thank you very much for coming and sharing with us. And thank you, Jai Sri Ram. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.
Thank you.
Till then, goodbye. Jai Sri Krishna. Jai Jai Sri Krishna.